this session we will be talking about a very important model, that is about the Zinger model of the employee engagement. And in this model we will talk about the how to achieve the results, because there are so many factors and dimensions which will be responsible for the achieving the results are there. Second is everybody is talking nowadays the next level, that whatever the level you are of the thinking, even if your thought process is at particular level, and now how to enhance that thought process to the next level, that is so what are the factors are responsible for that, and the path progress, how to get this achievement of our goals, then the recognition, foster community, master movements, leverage strengths, make meaning, leverage energies, and experience well-being will be there. So these will be the factors which we will be talking about. So David Zinger in 2009, basically it is a model of the employee engagement. He attempted to balance organizational inputs, leadership inputs, and the individual inputs. There are three inputs are very important. Now whenever we are talking about the organizational inputs, in the organizational inputs, when we talk about the organizational capital, organizational capital will be the infrastructure. Now in this organizational capital, that is the infrastructure, what type of the infrastructure you are having. So always I talk about the 6 resources, that is the man, machine, material, money, method, and minutes, and therefore this organizational infrastructure is important. Second one is, that is about the leadership inputs are there. In the case of the leadership, it is becoming very important, that is the which model you are going to apply and what sort of these leadership inputs will be there. And leadership inputs are important not only in favorable condition. Every leader will be successful in the favorable condition, but the leadership into the unfavorable conditions, that is becoming very important to become a successful leader in unfavorable conditions. Like we have seen the COVID time and then the LAC, LOC problems and all, then it is the leader and his team. They have to see and handle this is a totally unfavorable situation and find out the solutions amicably. So therefore in that case this is becoming a very important, that is the how individual inputs in developing and fostering the engagements are there. Then we talk about, that is the that full engagement can be brought down when efforts are put from organization, leaders, and employees, all 3 dimensions. Organizational dimensions, leaders dimensions, and employees dimensions are there, and these all these 3 dimensions that we have to see, that is the how you are going to apply in the case of this the leadership's input, right, and therefore not only this but the talented employees input. We will be discussing this model in the context of the, that is the talent, that is the employees. So this employee engagement pyramid to achieve results are there, are the 10 blocks are there. They achieve the results, maximize performance, path progress, build relationships, foster recognition, master movements, leverage strengths, make meaning, enhance well-being, and enliven energy is there. So therefore these 10 blocks are becoming very important. So employee engagement is defined, it is a good work done well with the others every day, and here we will find that is the always what the others are doing, that and it is a continuous process every day. So here we will find that is the small is there, simple, strategic, structural, and sustainable, right. So these are the pyramids which we are talking about is there. On these pyramids, the pyramid offers the big picture of what can be done for engagement. So if you want to get the engage the employees, what is to be done, while offering the ability and structure to tackle one block at a time. So there will be the one block which you have to take. Many people are overwhelmed by the work and perceive engagement as another task, right. So this is where we have to differentiate, that is the people are involved in the work and people are engaged in the work, right. So, therefore, a person may be highly involved, but may not be engaged. So, he is doing his job, so his involvement is there, but that absorption and dedication is not there. And if the vigor, absorption and I have talked about these things into the employee engagement, and therefore, that absorption, dedication is not there, then definitely in that case it will be becoming a difficult task. With this model, you can focus on just one block at a time for a day, and that is, it depends on the size and of the organization and employees involved, a week, a month, or even a year. The model can be used for different people like leaders, managers and supervisors to nurture engagement or heighten their own engagement is there. So, therefore, this model is also very important for the talent engagement vis-a-vis, that is the engagement of the self of the leaders also. So, that will be taken into consideration. The first point which we will talk about, the achieve the results. This symbol is directed towards the achievement of results. The employee should be clear about what he wants to achieve and when he will be able to do that. Now, when we do the exercise of, that is the vision, that is the creative vision, and the people are not able to draft a vision. Of course, the vision will depend on the external environmental factor also, and these external environmental factors that we will have to take care during the process of the integrating with the internal factors, that is the employees and leaders and organization. So, therefore, they should be very clear about what they want to achieve, and this brainstorming process, that what do you want to achieve in your life. And normally, if we talk about the middle class people, then they will look for the self sustainability, and then they will see that there is the family is established, and there is a proper house to live and enough money, right, to meet their goals. So, therefore, in that case, or what, but it is not necessary for all. It will vary from individual to individual. This is just an assumption, because many people are the work oriented and they want to get the excellence at work, and they forget about the family, they forget about the house, they forget about the money, right. So, therefore, again we will talk about the motivation. So, that will depend on the individual to individual, but definitely one thing is very clear, that is, one should decide what one wants to achieve. And this question is delayed by many people in India, that is, this is not the right age. What is the right age, that is not very certain, right. Somebody will say 35, somebody will say 40, somebody will say 45, somebody will say after retirement, somebody will say before retirement. So, therefore, what want to achieve and when he will be able to do that. That is why I have given the example, that is whether it is before retirement or it is in after retirement. Excellent performance. Engagement for result can contribute for effective performance management. High level of performance by the employees is also one of the result of the engagement is there. Now, you see, that is whenever you give the high results, when one gives the high results, that is because of his engagement only. People just watch the result, but many times they are not able to see the efforts made by the team or person to get that particular result. Good employee engagement should adopt to star performers, and naturally the good employee engagement will be definitely will create the star performers. Third one is the path progress. Engagement can be brought to employees by giving considerable value for the path progress of employees, and that is the how they are going to achieve that particular path, and that a path progress will be depending upon that is the whether we are going to be the considerate for the value. Now, again, what is the value? The value system of individual he adopts from the society surrounding to him. When I say the society, it is the friends, parents, right, and the surrounding environment. So, therefore, it becomes very important, that is the whether what value system is have been developed. For example, the hard work. If the hard work is the value system for the path progress of employees, then you will find that employees is to achieve that goal, reach to that destination, he is doing very hard work and then he is achieving his goal. So, therefore, it helped in crafting their career. So, once it is decided that I will be going for by my value system is the hard work, and therefore, that will be crafting their career and deciding the career path. So, that will decide that is what one wants to achieve. Next is the recognition. The high potential employees often require powerful recognition. Always you see that is the even if a child, right, when he puts it is a first step, what he does, he looks at back and see the parents are clapping, parents are happy, mother is happy, right, and then he understands that those emotions, and then again he puts the next step. It is a natural process, and in the natural process the recognition is important. If an employee, when he is taking the first initiative, he looks towards the mother is the organization, and if the organization means boss, right, and the organization is appreciating, then he puts the next step, right. So, therefore, proper recognition policy of the organization will also help employees, and then that should not be dependent on the boss, right. It should be as a policy matter to you to recognize your employees. Some bosses may recognize, some bosses may not recognize. So, do not leave to the bosses, rather than it is better you put it into the in the policy itself, and whenever there is a policy of the organization, that will help the employees towards the more and more engagement is there, because there is a recognition as per the policy is concerned. Another example I have given, that is about the variable pay, and in that variable pay also you will find that is the employees are getting that particular input. It assists the employees to better relate the recognition with the worth they have in their organization and also with their work. So, it is very important that recognition, very nice point has been mentioned here, recognition with the worth, that is becoming the important issue, and then that recognition with the work, right, that creates the value to the employee to get more and more engaged. So, as I mentioned, that is the recognition, appreciation, that they are getting the worth of the employee in the organization in the eyes of others, and the others find that how important that person is. So, here it is very important, that is they are going by this particular the recognition by the organization. Next one is the foster community. A strong crucial of employee engagement is the connection to relationships and community, and that relationships and community is becoming the concern for the result of the employee engagement. Relationship do matter for everyone on earth. Naturally, when you develop a relationship, even if you are alone, you develop the relationship with the environment, with the nature. So, it becomes a crucial to every employee engagement, that is develop a community or relationship with others at the workplace. The organizations that do not alter themselves into communities, that is the appreciation, recognition, working together, challenges, issues, understanding each other, supporting in the challenging time. So, that their communities are in risk of becoming obsolete if they are not supporting. So, it will become obsolete. Then why there is a need of any community, or ignored, or they will ignore that particular group or the people surrounding to them. So, it is necessary, that is the foster the community, develop a community wherever we are. So, when we talk about the faculty communities, the faculty community is developed, and when in lighter example is that is the like a whenever any faculty is in problem, so then during that situation, the rest of the faculty members, the colleagues, they support, and in the case if we find that is there is any major issue, then also the faculty members they support to each other. at the workplace. So, relationships and relationship building are a basic foundation of the employee engagement, and therefore, for the employee engagement it is very important that is there is a community surrounding to that employees, or there is a relationship at the workplace, professional relationship. Master moments. This model give emphasis on living the moments, every moment of life, every time which you spend there at the workplace, and that has to be the memorable. This model stays for the living the moment at best. So, therefore, it is just a philosophy of life. Every moment of life which is going from the this moment to the next moment, the past moment we remember and then we enjoy and we cherish, then the life is beautiful. Employee will be more engaged. But if the past moment which he remembers and then he finds that was a failure, then he will not like to remember, and therefore, employee engagement will be less. Working in a moment results in reducing stress among employees. So, those fine moments of life where employees are living, then definitely that will be reducing the stress among the employees. Then they leverage the strengths. Employee should be appreciated for the strength they have. Every employee is having certain strengths and weaknesses. So, when we talk about the combination of our strengths and opportunities, as I have discussed into the TOS matrix also. So, this is the moment of pride, that is one side you are going for the strength and other side you are going for the opportunities. So, that particular moment of the life, right, that in which you have used your strengths, people have appreciated your strengths, you have done a wonderful job. So, that strengths will be appreciated and the employees will be aware about their strength first. So, many employees they are able to go for this strength and they can appreciate by identifying, that is a self awareness. Now, here I will also like to mention about the two dimensions, self awareness and self regulations. Self awareness are those dimensions where the individual is capable to know his strengths, his weaknesses, his opportunities and his threats. If the employee is aware about the strength, weakness, opportunities and strength and threats, and then definitely he will be able to maximize the use of his strength because he is aware. But the employee who is not aware, then it will be difficult for him to go for the maximizing that particular strength. Then they can appreciate others also, even not the appreciating or knowing the self, but they will be also appreciate to the others for their strengths are there. So, this will become a very important aspect in case of the leveraging the strength. Now, the meaningful life. What is the purpose of living? Purpose of living is the meaningful life. How do we get the meaning? First we will go by the point. The employee should feel meaning in their work. What you are contributing, your national building. If you are working for the society, you are whatever the job you are doing, and then the society says that is, oh, we are thankful, that is the your such dynamic leadership that has uplifted the level of society, uplifted a particular practice, uplifted the reducing this in the methodologies for reducing the stress. So, therefore, if the employees feel meaning in the work, then they will be give their best for that. That yes, I am building the nation, I am helping the people to grow. So, therefore, they will be more engaging. Meaningful progress is one of the best events of a work day. So, whenever at the end of the day, when you look at your contribution and then you find that is yes, today you have done something strong and concrete, and therefore, in that case you will find that is the best events of a day of the workplace is there. Leverage energies. There should be proper consumption of human energy, and the energy is directed. Everyone is having a certain energies bundle, and those bundles are to be directed in the right direction. Otherwise, those energy has to be used, and then that energy may not be used into the right direction. The energy that is channelized in the right direction serves as a milestone for getting success. So, your energy is directed towards the right direction, you will find that is the employees are getting the success. And this is to be noted, that is the direction to the energy is to be given by the employee by self. However, many times the leadership is there and leadership provides you that particular direction to perform, but the willingness to use that energy under the guidance of leader that is required by the individual. Powerful engagement involves mastery of mental, physical, emotional and organizational energy is there. So, like we have talked about the mastery of the movements, similarly we will talk about mastery of the mental and physical, emotional and organizational energy. So, how you are going to acquire that particular energy. So, mentally you have to acquire the energy, physically you have to acquire the energy and emotionally you have to acquire that particular energy. So, that you can involve your employees engagement fully at your workplace or in your organization. Energy not time is the vital source for the engaged working, and therefore, in that case it is not the question that how much time you have worked, rather than it is important that is what is the resource for the engaged working is there. If your resource is getting the properly utilized, right, then definitely you are making the leveragation your energy is there. Now, happiness, experience well-being. Ultimately, the work should always contribute to employees' well-being. Well-being means happiness. So, you have to see that is the what ultimately the work should always contribute to employee well-being, the happiness is there. But every employee will be happy? No, because I have discussed earlier in my other courses, that is about the happiness is that is 50% is heredity, right, 40% is environmental and 10% is situational. So, 50% is heredity and 40% is environmental and 10% is situational. So, this 50, 40 and 10. So, here you have to see that is the how you are going to create that employees well-being, because some of them may not be they happy because of their heredity. Heredity means that dopamine secretion, and if the dopamine secretion is less, what you have to create? You have to create the that environment. Environment has to be extended. So, environment, when you are extending the environment from here to here, so then in that case it will be very important, that is the how that environment you are creating, and as a result of which you are getting the results. Employee should feel healthy well-being, that will help in engagement naturally. So, when they feel they are happy and there is a healthy and good reason and the legal reason to be happy, and then definitely in this case that will be more engaged. Ultimately, the profit or performance of an organization will depend on well-being of the employees, a very important point they have mentioned in this Zinger model, that is the profit or performance in organization will depend on well-being of the employees. If the employees are happy, there will be more profit. If employees are not happy, there will not be the profit, and therefore, to become the happy, it is becoming important, that is the well-being of the employees have been done. So, this is all about, we have talked about the aspects of these employees well-being is there, and if we follow the Zinger model, then I am sure that is the we will be more and more successful. However, one more aspect in the Zinger model, that is about the optimism we can connect, and that optimism with the happiness is important. Like in the previous slide I have talked about this well-being and personality and your this optimism that is required to be considered. For example, we talk about that is the how optimism is related to the well-being is there. I have talked about that is the heredity, and optimism is also that is the how you are having that particular secretion of hormones which will be leading you to create an environment to work together. Now, here it is to be noted that is the if you are going to create that engagement of the employees with the well-being. So, now can there be the employees engaged without the well-being? Yes, employees can be engaged without well-being, and that without well-being is that because of the stress. If the stress is high, and we know the relationship between the stress and the performance. So, there can be the stress and performance relationship that is the inverted U, and in the inverted U you will find that is the whenever we are talking about the inverted U you create, this will be creating the more and more the important is will be that is the how you are going to develop that particular aspect. Now, here you will find that is the these particular conditions where the stress is related to with the inverted U aspect is there, then we will go that is the how we are going to create that particular inverted U, and in this inverted U one side we are talking about the performance, and other side we are talking about the stress, and this is the U stress. Now, this well-being happy person that he has to be create this particular figure of this one that will be bigger one, and it will be created like this. So, here U stress will be here in spite. So, this gap that will be create the more happiness, more employee engagement is there. Now, this productivity and performance that will depend on the individual's personality. So, there are 5 dimensions in the individual's personality that we have to see for the happiness is there. The first one is that is the locus of control. In the locus of control you will find that is the either it can be internal or it can be external. So, does the employee engagement depend on the happiness? Yes, employee engagement as per the Zinger model it depends on the happiness. And does the happiness depends on the personality? Yes, it is depends on the personality, and in the personality those who are having internal locus of control they will be more successful as compared to those who are having the external locus of control. So, here you will find that is the it becomes important that is the how we are going to create that internal locus of control. Here I would also like to mention the one more dimension, and that is about the learned helplessness. This well-being is directly proportionate to the higher the self internal locus of control and low learned helplessness. Here I would like to take a bivariate design, and in the bivariate design you will find that is we are going for this particular aspect. In this aspect we will find that is the internal locus of control and external locus of control, and then the low learned helplessness and the high learned helplessness. So, in the case of the internal locus of control, here you will find internal locus of control and low learned helplessness that will be more successful, highly engaged employees. So, that will be high engaged employees is there, and internal locus of control with the high learned helplessness, right, that will be low. When we are having the external locus of control and low learned helplessness, then in that case also we will find that is the employee engagement that will be low because of the external locus of control is there. So, therefore, they believe that is if external factors will be there then only they will be able to perform. But when we are talking about the external locus of control and with the high learned helplessness, right, then definitely there also deeply you will find that is the happiness will be less and the engagement will be minimum. So, what it means? It means that is the, if you want to create the employee engagement, and we have to consider a dimension of the well-being or happiness, we have to see the personalities of the happiness, that is the will depend on the well-being of the employees. Employees are supposed to have internal locus of control and low learned helplessness. What is low learned helplessness? Learned helplessness means I learn, that is I am helpless, though I am not, but I have learned, and therefore, in that case that will be the low learned helplessness. So, in general the Zinger model, which has talked about, that is the different dimensions of how of the pyramid, and then in this pyramid if you are keeping the in mind all these 10 parameters of the Zinger model, you will be having the more engaged employees, and when there will be more, that will be also help in the, that is how your talent is giving the best to the organization. So, this is all about the Zinger model. Thank you.